Hey, Coach, super excited you found us on YouTube. Make sure that you watch and leave some comments below if you have any questions on anything in the video. That's the first thing. Second thing is make sure you subscribe. If you want updates, you're obviously here because you're a basketball coach, so subscribe down below. We would really appreciate that. And the third thing is if you're looking for resources, you're looking to become a better basketball coach, click up above or down below, teachhoops.com. It is a vast resource to help you become a better basketball coach. I'm here to help. I just got done answering about 25 emails, so go check it out. I think it will be a great resource for you, 14-day free trial. And let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.
Hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yep, perfect. Yeah, I just needed I needed a little caffeine in my last one, so I
hear you.
need a little caffeine. Okay, what do we got?
All right, I want to talk offense.
Okay.
Revamping our offense in particular.
Okay.
So we were, I don't know how much you remember, but we did kind of like a modified version of the dribble drive this year, with just a few rules, like 3 or 4 entries. Kept it really simple.
Yep.
And we scored a ton of points.
Okay.
We really scored a ton of points. Hit a lot of threes. But we ran into teams that were a little bit bigger and stronger. We just didn't shoot well. But my young kids are going to be bigger and stronger next year.
Right.
So
was it size or strength?
Strength. I mean, with young kids.
Okay.
It was hard to get inside touches at times against stronger teams. Just because I had a whole bunch of freshmen and sophomores that I think physically they're a little intimidated.
Right.
But then at the same time, they just get knocked off the line going to the basket easily.
Yeah.
But they're gonna be 1 year bigger next year, 1 year stronger. And well, I guess part of the problem too is that we ran into a shooting funk in the last 2 weeks of the season where we just killed teams shooting. And then at the last 2 weeks, we just could not hit a shot. We just could not get out of it.
Right. So I think you want. I mean, all right. So they're not going to necessarily be any taller at this point, right?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
They're not going to necessarily be any taller.
I mean, I'm dealing with 15-year-old boys. I mean, they're certainly going to grow a couple inches.
Okay. So, but the dribble drive, you want to get to the free throw line as much as anything, probably.
Yeah, and we did get to the free throw line, considerably more than our opponents.
Right.
So it was just shooting contested shots, and it was, I don't know, I guess it's hard to explain. We just had a lot of great shooters too, but we just can't rely upon it. We got too dependent upon it.
So yeah, you can't, because if it goes dry one day and it's one and done, you're finished.
And that's what happened in playoffs. We played a team that we should have beat 9 times out of 10, but we shot 8% from behind the line, and it was just all senior season's over.
Right.
So
that's when you need to come up. You need to come up with sets. You need to come up with ways to get into the free throw line. Because if you don't have a true post, which it doesn't sound like you have a true post.
No, we do have a lot of guards though that I think my sophomores are going to be juniors next year. And I think they're just going to feel like they're the guys now. They were still underclassmen this year. I got a bunch of guards I think I'm going to be able to post up next year.
Okay. I
got a bunch of guys I got to have a whole bunch of 3s and 4s next year. Okay. And so
but then you should do some ball screen stuff like they're doing in the tournament right now, where you're doing slips. Well, they cheat, you make the turn, because the dribble drive really doesn't have a lot of that.
No, and we even got away from any kind of basket cuts. I mean, I want to put some basket cuts in where those guys have a chance to stay on that block, post up for 2-3 seconds before they're filling.
Right, and especially if you have guards and bigs, a lot of the slips and the passes will be easier because they're better at it.
Right.
They're better at catching it too. It's not like you got a 6'7" kid trying to catch it while they're slipping. So,
no, and they can even pop off it too. We got a lot of options. We're just going to be so much more versatile next year than we were this year.
Yep.
And I just got to adjust to it. So
I think
I was watching some of your read and react stuff.
Yeah, so I think what you got to do is put some of that read and react in. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Part of it is you have to also, put some isolations where this 3 or this 4 is my better post. So I'm going to get some ball screens. I'm going to get some slips. I'm going to get different looks that way.
So I was looking up some stuff, and tell me why this is bad, I guess, because in my mind this makes complete sense. Sometimes it's, and then I tell my assistants, and they just say, "Yeah, it sounds great. Let's do it." I need somebody to tell me why this is too simplistic or wrong.
Okay.
So I was looking up what's his name? That John Leonzo. I don't know. He's got a whole bunch of stuff on social media, and so he has this what's called a no mistake motion offense. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it.
I'm not.
Okay, so it's a 5-out offense, but he has a numbered system where he has 7 reads, and I don't know if I could be that complicated with my guys. So like a 1 is a basket cut, a 2 is a down screen with the curl, a 3 is a down screen with a basket cut behind it, and he's got all these 7 different basketball moves. So when he's calling in a set, he'll call. So just for example, he'd call 45 in. That means that he's running 2 down screens with slips, and then he's following it up with 2 flare screens with a slip, or something like that.
And what's
he's calling in 2 actions that he wants. What's that?
What's the name of it?
It's called no mistake offense. I just happened to stumble upon it because I was looking for, actually what I was doing, I was looking for a 5-out delay offense because our delay offense this year sucks. So I was trying to find something new.
Right.
And I stumbled upon it.
And who's it by? What's his name?
Let me just look it up. I'm just going to slide you over. It's like John Leonzo. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. So it's John, John, and then his last name is spelled Leonzo.
Okay.
And just
so
you
explain how the 45 gets into what he was talking about. Is a 4 and a 5 2 different things?
So that's just the play call. So I'm trying to think if I can show my screen somehow.
Yeah, I think in the bottom, in the share part down in the bottom, I think you can share it.
Okay. Can you? What do you see now?
I see you.
How about now?
Let's start. Yep, now I see it. Okay.
All right. Let's see. I think I have the screen somewhere. Where the hell is it now? It's called like the no mistake motion offense.
Be good if it's on a no mistake motion offense.
Yeah, right. So these are like if you can see here, so 1 through 7, those are predetermined like basketball actions.
Right.
So he'll call in a number, and if he just wants them to run just flare screens or ball screens, he'll just call 1 number in, which I think is a little bit too simplistic, even for my level.
Right.
But he'll call 2 numbers in, so he'll call, like I said, 35. And it's a little flexible. So he said when he does it, he's going to run 2 of the same actions in a row. So when he calls 35 in, he's running 2 down screens with a back cut, and then he's running 2 flare screens with a slip. And then after that, they're just kind of playing basketball.
Okay.
So you're calling some predetermined actions.
Yep.
And then playing basketball after it.
Okay.
Because I worry, because we up until this year we ran just a real basic. I mean, Bobby Knight would be proud of us, a 4-out, 1 in.
Right.
True motion.
Okay.
And all we ever did was just set pin down screens, it felt like. And
they get the same reputation. They do that. I agree. And I've noticed that with mine is they'll run the same thing over and over and over again. And
I'm forcing these kids to run different actions. And who knows how many times you're going to score off them, but I just feel like it's hard to scout. And
what I do too is what helped in our practice is I make them call out what they're doing.
Yeah.
So when we're scrimmaging against we're going 5-on-5, and I'm on the green team going against the white team. I'm going to yell down screen, and then I'm going to run flare cut. I'm going to literally call it out. I said, I don't care if the defense knows what you're doing. I want you to kind of hear and feel what you're doing, because you're doing the same cuts every time. So once they have to visually, they have to verbally say it out loud. They stop doing that and they change it up. They might do, a flare and then a down and then a flare and then a down. That's fine as long as they're changing up and they see what they're doing. That helps a lot when you practice it. I'll look at see if what.
I just feel like this is a nice marriage where, if I want to see certain actions, I can call it in. And then after that, I mean, they are running just a true 5-out motion after that.
Right.
With different looks.
You think your guys can remember all those? I'm not sure my guys can remember those 7.
No, God, no. We already talked about it. We have some we got some kids that we might
Well,
only be able
I'm
to get
saying, like, they'll know basket cut. That's fine.
Yeah.
Call the 12, they'll be fine. They'll do basket, down screen, curl cut. Yeah.
and I figure I could put some rules in here too. Like I have one kid. He's a sophomore. He's going to be probably next year. He'll be about 6'5", really good finishing around. And I think he's just going to be a matchup problem if I run him into the post and he can post up. So he might have a rule on every basket cut that he does.
Right.
You know, he's posting up for 2 or 3 ball
Right.
sides.
And you can do that with your bigs or people that are running different positions. That's easy enough to do. You know, what's your contact rules in the summer?
It's wide open. We have 1 week in over 4th of July we camp. Other than that, it's
That's what I'm saying. I would try to come up with a couple different and see. Use the summer as your laboratory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering when you're looking at this, what do you see? What's wrong with this? What could go wrong with this? Why is this a bad?
First of all, I think it's too many, like you said. That's my issue.
Yeah.
You know, pick 3 or 4 of them. That's fine. It's no different than me calling blue. you know, it's just a couple actions.
I'm gonna click this stop share. I'm hoping that it doesn't kick you off.
No, it won't. So no, it's I think it's fine. I mean, it's more kind of what you want necessarily to look at.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any problems with it. I just think on the fly, if you're calling out 12, it's harder than calling out blue, maybe.
Right. And what I'm thinking is
I like actions that I like quick hitters and actions that do 3 or 4 things.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's giving us a post look. It's giving us a 3. It's giving us a flare. That's why I like those kind of quick hitters better than that. That, obviously, as a math teacher, gives you more options because there's a difference between 21 and 12.
Right.
You know, one's a basket cut first, one's a basket cut second. I get that. I don't know. I don't know if I'm dealing with basketball IQ high enough guys. I mean, I'd have to fun with it.
And I figure we'd start with basket cuts, we'd start with ball screens, and then just maybe 1 down screen action and 1 flare action.
Yeah.
So there's 4 things, you know, and then if we can get to a point, because one nice thing is that all of my guys next year, 8 of my top 10 guys, I'm going to have again for the next year.
Right.
And of those 8, 5, I'm going to have again the year after that. Like, This is the point now in the program where, like, I legitimately think that we can get to a state tournament here for the next 3 years.
Right.
And we could do some damage 2 years from now. Like, I don't think we can win it, but I think we could win a game or 2. So whatever we put in now, I want to have 2 or 3 years from now when hopefully we're playing in the state.
Well, I think that's why you try it. I mean, the worst case is you try and it doesn't work. I was playing a matchup 2-3 zone at the end of the season. It didn't work. We tanked it. You know, I spent the whole summer. It's like, well, if it ain't working, I don't care how much time I spent on it. It's not working. So you throw it away. So that's why I think you try this. I'd pick 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
See how they work and then let me know. And if it works okay, maybe I'll give it a shot because it's similar to read and react. You're just doing different reads. You know, I don't know. I love the name No Mistake Offense. Like,
yeah, right. Just drop it in.
That's good. I would name that the Mistake Offense if I started to run it tomorrow, because not the No Mistake Offense. There'd be lots.
Right. I just like I'm too. And that was part of the problem with the dribble drive is that I just feel like it was unstructured at points, and we were too. I mean, teams would, first of all, they would pack it in. I mean, which is what you do against a dribble drive, which is fine. And we didn't have stellar enough athletes to create like that, so we weren't getting drive and kick opportunities because we weren't drawing a second defender off.
Right.
So then we got into we were going to EastWest dribble handoffs, and it was really good against bad teams. I mean,
right. Well, you got to be able to hit shots too. If you hit shots, all of a sudden it's a different game. You know. Yeah. You can come on, defend, and it's going to leave you lane. So you got to be able to hit shots. If you're going to stick dribble drive, then they better all shoot 15,000 threes this summer.
And we had 2 kids that, broke school records. Like, we had one kid, it was crazy. He shot 50% on the season, damn near. And he shot like 300 threes. I mean, it was just insane. I mean, the kid was just an unbelievable shooter. But then,
but he hit a 2-week window when it wasn't going in.
The last 2 weeks of the season. Yeah. Yeah, and he just texted me tonight. They had their first AAU practice. Coach, I'm not broke anymore. Yeah, good timing. Good timing, Mason.
Doesn't help me now.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll play around with it. But I was watching your read and react stuff, and I'm curious, what do you still do? I don't know how old that video was. I mean, do you still do a lot of that stuff, like with that?
A lot of it, and I've simplified actually, and we'll call, like I said, in practice, I'm going to add this, but in practice we'll just do slips. Everybody runs slips every time, and then we'll do back screens, only back screens, and then we'll do only, and again, you need a way to, I think what you found is you need a way to be able to score when you need to score. Like,
right.
You need to get the ball into the paint, or we need, because our leaders aren't the same as what we're watching on TV that know that, hey, I got to pull it out. I got to get here. I got to get this. So that's where, that call stuff might help, so different than calling a quick hitter or a play.
I just went down to the state tournament, and actually I watched almost all the Wisconsin games. They broadcasted here. We're just close enough where we got them on all our regular ones. Public speaking teacher, I can give you some pointers on the color if you want, but
yeah, my color.
I'm just kidding. Actually, I didn't see any of your stuff. I was hoping I'd catch one of your games.
I did radio.
You did radio.
I have a face for radio. The color guys are.
No, I love it, man. All of them are broadcast. I don't even get the Minnesota ones where I'm at, but I got all the Wisconsin ones. It doesn't make sense.
And Minnesota, we're one of the few states that broadcast every state tournament game.
Yeah, and we do here, but it's only if you get like the city's locals, you get them. Like up here, you don't, unless you have some crazy package. Right. But we went down and watched all the Minnesota ones and watching Wisconsin ones. Like nobody at that level is playing drive and kick basketball. It's just, there's just more to it at that level.
They're more intuitive. It's screens. It's read. Yeah. It's like the NCAA's. It is. Because
we had a really good year. So we only lost a handful of games, and I went back and I wasn't even watching us in those games. I was just watching those other teams, and that's what they're doing. I mean, they're setting screens, they're slipping screens. They're setting flares. I mean, they're doing all these things that we're not doing.
Right.
And that's why they're beating us. We're beating all the same teams, but they're beating teams like us, and we just have to do that to get to the next level.
Yeah, it's the intricacies of the offense that makes the difference. Yes, I would agree.
And it's amazing. I mean, you see basket or ball screens, but you don't see them as much as you did 2-3 years ago.
No,
especially at that level.
No,
I mean, they're just getting trapped to beat hell off of it.
They're defendable. I think they're defendable. Ball screens are defendable. Now, we see them for isolations or mismatches or things like that. I'm gonna go and actually do more ball screens next year, I think. When people aren't doing it, then I want to do it.
Sure. Yeah, and that's what I figured with the dribble drive. I mean, that was the flavor 5-10 years ago, and now everyone's kind of gone more towards a read and react or something like that. So I thought, but apparently every coach that coached against it 5-10 years ago remembered it. Yes. At least the good ones.
I think it's more defendable than read and react. I do.
Yeah.
If you're hitting shots, it's hard, but I can keep you out of the paint.
Right.
I think the dribble drive would have been better pre-3 without the three just neutralizes it so much that I don't know.
I had another question for you.
Yep.
Can you quick walk me through how you break a 1-2-2 half court? So someone's coming on a 1-2-2 half court trap. I mean, we're real aggressive as soon as you're crossing the timeline. They're trapping you.
So where are they trapping? So, can you pull up a thing and draw it up for me? What you're talking about with the traps?
Yeah. Just gonna. So what ended up happening while I get this open here? So we're positioning ourselves perfect. I think we were one of the better teams in the section this year, and everybody is going to be worse next year. They graduate a lot of guys, and we're getting better next year. And just happened that team that was in 3A. One division above us dropped down to our division by one kid. And they beat us by 40 this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, now they're dropping down in 2A, and they're just as young as we are. They might even be a little bit younger than we are. So we got to figure out a way to beat these guys, and they run a 1-2-2 half court, and they'll stay in the 1-2-2. I mean, they're just really, really good at it.
Okay.
So, we just set up in I'm sorry, I'll get this open here, but we set up in just a 2-on-2, and there wasn't a lot of movement in it. All right, get open here.
So, okay, yeah. So you probably put the 1 at the free throw line.
Yeah, I mean, we had him move around a little bit, but not probably.
I have found that you don't want to put him at that free throw line because he's too easy to defend. You want him cutting to the free throw line, and you want the guy cutting from let me see. Okay, yep. Okay.
So this is, just kind of the basic idea.
Yep. So you want 5 closer to, you want 5 in the mid-low post where 3 is, on 3 side.
Sorry, it's just the OCD in me, man. I gotta get rid of that stuff. All right, so you start 5 down here.
Over there at the second hash. Yep, move them up a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, now where do they, show me where they trap.
All right, so as soon as, we have these guys, obviously.
Yeah.
And then, the second the ball, unless it's being passed across, anytime it's dribbled, and they even got super aggressive in the middle of the court, but anytime the ball crossed, they're immediately trapping.
Okay, and they're trapping with that wing and the. Yep. Yeah. So what happens when 2 cuts to the middle then?
Let's see if I can get some defenders out here. Like my quick draw here that I got.
Oh, I do. I love that.
So this guy, like I said, we had him here. So this guy was going down. This bottom guy was denying this pass.
Yep.
And this guy would start to creep up a little bit. Okay. And they were just
put them where they. Yep. So let's say one just dribbled across.
Mm-hmm.
So how can they defend 2 cutting to that? So put 5 back where he is, where he was.
Yep. Yep.
Where I put him. Okay. So how are they gonna? Where are they gonna defend? Who's gonna defend 5? And then
right here.
Yeah. Who's gonna defend him?
This guy's gonna drop, right?
I would guess he is, which is what you want. You want space at that point because then 5 has this open area, and 2 should cut to the top of the key.
Right, and then
so you're leaving space for 2 and 5 to cut.
Right. 4, so this other guy's going to come over with him.
Yep.
And it's just as simple as you just bring 5 up here.
Then 5's got a flash. So those are and then 4's going to flash too. Now what you can do is have 3 flash from the opposite side and 4 take 3 spot.
Yeah, we did do that a couple times where we had 5 come down because especially when our big guy wasn't in, we had 5 screen here.
Yep.
And then we had 3 come up. And I feel like we'd get the ball here, but then, it's these young kids and they know defenders are behind them.
Right.
So when he should attack, he's not attacking because he gets the ball tipped away from him one time and now he's scared of these guys coming behind him.
You got to attack at that point. It's like you've broken the front line of defense. You got to go at them. You got to make them pay at that point.
That is simplistic as you do it, where you just have 5 from behind.
I would. Let me play. I have something that I didn't know you were going to ask this one. So let me.
I apologize.
No, it's all right. So I have something at school on but you want cutters. You want cutters cutting across, and you don't want 5 there because then he doesn't have to move. Because if 5's there and he flashes, you don't want to give up a layup either. You know what I'm saying? Well, that defender is worried about where is 5 going to flash? Where is 2 going to flash? And then 3 and 4 got to work together in unison. Like if 4 goes away, then 3 comes across because that one of them is going to be open. If one doesn't panic, one of them will be open. And then you got to make them pay.
And if they're being super aggressive here, and that's the problem. If we get it here, we could get 3 going to the basket and once 5 gets the ball.
Yeah, and then you just tell them, throw it up to the rim. Shoot it.
I got a bunch of white boys from northern Minnesota.
You can tell them to shoot it. You're going to miss it left. That's what you do. You shoot it, and then you go get it. Yeah. But I know what you're saying, yes.
No, but if you could share that with me because, and it may sound stupid, but day 1 of next year, we're putting this in even though we don't play them till the end of the year.
Yeah.
Because that's a team that we need to beat to get to the state tournament.
Yep. I'll roll myself a note to do that, and I'll find that when I go to school tomorrow.
So, and then this is literally the last thing I got for you here, and then I can let you go. So when they just set up in like their normal, so once we kind of break it,
Yep.
they're just setting up in a normal 1-2-2, and they'll stay in it all game. I mean,
Okay.
they didn't get in the man once this year. Do you have something different once you've broken it and you've set up in the half court, or do you just run?
I like running. I mean, I'd run my read and react against it. I have found that to be the most successful. I have some zone offenses like flash and stuff that I run, but I want movement through this thing. So the best way to beat a zone is shoot the ball really well. I'm going to tell you.
Yeah. Well, this was in the last 2 weeks of the season when we were all of a sudden shooting 10% from beyond the arc.
Right.
Like there was a point, I'm not kidding, we were 10 for 70 on threes like over a course of a handful of games. It was insane.
Then you're not going to win. You're not going to win.
No, we're not. Yeah. So you just run just your basic motion offense.
I do, and I get them cutting through, and I get them moving. I'll show you a couple other things. You can do some overload stuff. I'll have you send me when I have some time this summer some tape of them too. If I can see some tape of them,
yeah,
I can look at it and give you some better input on that too.
All right.
Okay. Perfect.
All right. That's all I got for you.
All right. Perfect. All right. We'll talk, Coach. Thanks.
All right.
Hey, Coach, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you're looking for more just like it, check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. 14-day free trial, a mentor in me. Let me help you become a better coach.